It is good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree?
Yeah.
That is a hard act to follow. You're not wanting to be the reason for all of the fun to stop. You are knowing what you are wanting. Fun, for one thing, yes. Desire is such a good thing. So when your desire and your belief are in the same place, in other words, when you believe what you desire, then there's no resistance in your vibration. Then you are in sync with the whole of you. Then you are in vibrational alignment with what life has caused you to configure. You've been sifting through life, haven't you? And through the ups and downs and what you call trials and errors, and through the sifting of the contrast, you have come to your personal preferences. And we want you to know that they matter a lot. In fact, you were born for that. You were born to come to your personal preferences. And we also would like you to know that when those personal preferences are accomplished by you, and we really mean accomplished, because it's sifting and sorting and living of life that helps you to come to those conclusions of your preferences. And we want to say to you that they matter a lot. Don't let anyone talk you out of your preferences just because they vary from other preferences. Don't let anyone talk you out of the ideas that are born within you, because you came into this body to give birth to those very ideas. Don't let anyone make you feel uncomfortable or embarrassed about your uniqueness, because it is your uniqueness that is your greatest gift to the whole. The individual you are matters so much. And so everything we say is never about causing conformity among you. It is always about encouraging the diversity, the variation, the magnificent uniqueness that adds to the palette of the whole. We want you to know that coming into your physical body was not something that you frivolously accomplished. It was something that you very much intended to do. And everything about not just your birth and entrance into this time-space reality, but everything that has come since is predominantly influenced by the powerful intentions that you held from non-physical. In other words, you knew your value most of all, and you knew your worthiness most of all, and you knew the potential for a joyous life experience most of all. In other words, you knew all of those things, and you came for the joyous, eternal continuation of your expansion. You didn't come to save a world or to fix a world. You came to have your fun within the world. You came to experience what the world could offer you, what you could glean from it, not in terms of possessions, not in terms of what the world would give you in terms of material objects, but what the world would give you in terms of vibrational balance, which was the basis of the birthing of the new ideas that you knew that you would come to. And you knew that once an idea was born within you, that everything that is non-physical, everything that surrounds you in the non-physical, everything that man wants to call God, what we call source or your inner being, all of this non-physical energy is flowing forth to assist you. Not just some of you, all of you. And not in a general sense, but in a specific, unique sense, because you are known specifically by source. So when life causes you to know what you don't want and therefore know what you do want, you emanate a vibrational preference, and you don't even really know you're doing it usually. You do quite a bit of that before you even become aware of desires. So there's a lot going on vibrationally that just happens as a result of the perfection of you perfectly fitted into this time-space reality. In other words, so much happens before you even need to become consciously involved. But once you do become consciously involved in the deliberate creation of your own life experience, then and only then are you really doing what you intended to do when you came into this body. None of you said, I'll just go forth and see what happens. None of you said, I'll let someone else run the show or run my show, and I'll just go along for the ride. Every single one of you said, I will go into my experience and I will create my own reality. And you all came without exception, loving 100% of the population already here and that was yet coming. 100% of them, 100% of you loved when you came. Your prejudices and your cutting yourself off from well-being did not start until after you got here and became part of the shortage consciousness of those who had already forgotten the power and the value of what you are. So as you get here into this time-space reality and life causes you to launch these rockets of desire, law of attraction gathers them, because law of attraction is the manager of all energies, of all vibrations, of all frequencies. Law of attraction gathers these vibrational frequencies that you have offered. You might call them desires, but in the beginning they weren't really desires. They were just awarenesses. You didn't like this and you automatically preferred something more, but you weren't even able to put words to it. You were just subtly doing what you knew you would do as a life form on the leading edge of creation. It just happened to you because so much had come before. You were so already a creator of your own reality that you just came and instinctually knew what to do, and you can't stop doing it. You cannot stop sifting and sorting and launching rockets of desire. In other words, you cannot stop doing step one of the creative process, which is ask. Life just elicits it from you. Now, when you ask, law of attraction and source energy and your inner being and all of us focus upon what you've asked for, and we give it our attention. And by giving it our attention, law of attraction brings more to it. So once you launch a desire, your desire becomes more and more and more and more. And further, you don't just launch that one little desire. You're living broad enough life. You're launching lots of desires, and those desires, most of them dovetail together in a very unique and powerful way right away. And so you become more and more and more, because what you give birth to in terms of vibration, as your inner being joins it, you evolve. Or you could say, more accurately, that the non-physical part of you evolves. But we want to say to you that the non-physical part of you cannot evolve without the physical part of you evolving, because you cannot detach yourself from that. You were source energy before you came into this physical body, and when you came, that source energy part of you remained there as the resourcing source of you. So you come and you do your part, just like you knew you would. You come, you sift and sort, and you ask for more. You ask for more than you have ever asked for before, and you ask for more collectively than has ever been asked for before. So the universe is expanding as a result of your, in most cases, unconscious asking. So this vibrational reality gathers momentum. We gave it a name because we want you to accept it as the reality that it is. Because this vibrational reality that we are calling your vibrational vortex, or your vortex of reality, or your vortex of creation, we call it everything that we can think of in order to get you to accept that it exists. See it? No, you don't. You can't see it or hear it or smell it or taste it or touch it, but it is a vibrational reality that in time you will be able to tune to and you will be able to recognize. But we want you to know that it is the beginning of all things that you are deliberately creating. All things that you desire will come from this, and this vortex came from the life you lived. So here's this vibrational reality, becoming more and more and more and more and more, because law of attraction says that it must. So step 2 of the creative process is 1, ask. Step 2 is answer, and that's how it is answered. It's answered because law of attraction brings to it everything that you've asked for. Now, think about it. You've asked for so many things. If someone said to you, what have you put into your vortex? Most of you couldn't even begin to identify all of the incremental experiences that you have lived that have caused you to put wonderful things in that vortex. And furthermore, you really cannot identify them as they have mixed together in this perfect vibrational format with the attention that your inner being has given to them. In other words, we want to say to you, we love you so much, you don't even really know what's in your vortex. But we know what's in there, and we know that it's good, and we know that you will know, provided you do what we are calling step 3 of the creative process. You got to chill out. You got to stop worrying about things. You got to stop defending yourself and debating over things that don't matter. You've got to stop being that negative, tied up, all wadded up person that's worried about stuff. You got to be happy. You got to be joyful. You've got to know who you are. You've got to trust yourself and others. You have to be in the mode of appreciation. You have to chill out. You have to relax back into that knowing being that you were when you were born, that all is well and that things really are working out for you. And sometimes you're going to have to work yourself back to that understanding because you've worked yourself away from it. And you've got some vibrational habits that keep you from being the realizer of what's in your vortex. But your vortex is bubbling, it's becoming, it's like a gestation period. But it reaches a place where your creation is ready to be born out into the light, out where you can experience it fully. And when that happens, if you are in the receptive mode, if you are in the state of allowing, if you are feeling good, when that creation, when your creation becomes ready, you realize it and you say, oh, I just got the best idea. Or, oh, I know what I want. You know that feeling? Ooh, that's a really good idea. And it remains a really good idea unless you bring the reality of its non-existence into the picture. A new idea is always a new idea. And a new idea has not been before. And a new idea to you is your creation. And you've got to take care of it just like you would a new baby. You've got to be kind to it. You've got to expect good things for it. You've got to nurture it and tend to it and be aware of it. You can't just say, oh, you can't be because you've never been. I want money so that I can do wonderful things for myself and others in this world. You can't do that. Nobody in your family's ever had any money. What makes you think that you will have any money? Look how much money you've got. How much money do you have anyway? How much? These are the thoughts that are going through your mind. And that's not taking care of your baby. That's not taking care of the creation that you've just given birth to. The creation that law of attraction is supporting. You can't realize that into your experience if you are contradicting it with reality. So many of you have been trained to be objective, to face reality. And we say, you did not come to face reality. You came to create reality. You came to bounce off the reality that already exists. Put pieces of new ideas into your vibrational vortex. Allow law of attraction to stir it up and mix it up and compound it and add more to it and put the energy that creates worlds behind it and get it ready for you to realize it, you to become aware of it. And when that desire is born within you, we want you to know how much came before that. How much even before you came into your body. How much ever since you've been in your body. How much as your vortex has been growing and expanding and becoming. How much attention source energy has put to it. This is a real thing and it's real for you and you can have it and this is your creation and these are your ideas and you get to do this, but you can't kill it with reality. You can't say that'll never work because it will if you will let it. Because the laws of the universe are queued up for it to work. How much time do you spend lying in your bed at night and keeping your blood pumping? There are things that happen without your attention. And so, as you accept that all of this is going on and that there is a reality and that it is full of the things that you have created and it will, as it has already come from a vibration to the thought of your desire, this thought of your desire will turn to real things. It will turn to fortunes. It will turn to bank accounts. It will turn to relationships. It will turn to empires. It will turn to anything that you want it to turn to. These vibrational then thoughts do become things. That's what creation is all about. And so if you have been a physical human who has been walking around just looking at the things that have already been created, you might not be aware of how they got there. But we want you to begin to make the association between the thoughts that you've been thinking and what those thoughts are turning to. In other words, thoughts do turn to things. This is the creative process. And so we say all of that in the way of just giving you this one statement, which is the most important statement that you will ever know. Your thoughts matter a lot. And you can tell by the way you feel whether you are encouraging your creation to become more right before your eyes or whether you are slowing it down. It will mature and it will become more because law of attraction and natural momentum say that it must be. But you, dear hearts, have become so adept at beating the drum of what is that you so often do not allow the natural maturation of your own creations.